It's an interesting cold open, wasn't it?
You
didn't realize we were live because Ryan did sort of a sneaky move where he played like half the drops from the system.
He's turning into John.
So it's
He's
misdirection.
trying to catch me saying a bad word. I'm not falling for it.
Well, say hi to everybody.
Well, hey, everyone.
Yep. Let's start the pregame
Right now,
show right now here on DLLS.
How you doing?
Hey everybody, welcome to the DLLS Stars Pregame Show alongside Craig Ludwig, who is not wearing the same t-shirt I am tonight, as far as I know, and Sam Nessler, still very much in the quarantine zone, and our producer Ryan Vaughters. I'm Owen Newkirk. Thanks for joining us. Before we get started tonight, let's talk about hats. Sam is wearing the Cadillac of DLLS hats, literally, and there's the white one behind him. Well, or Ryan could show you a picture of all of them. And there's the grass outside of Sam's window, and here are the hats. Check them out. They can be purchased at alldls.com. You can get a discount if you are a diehard. So sign up today, alldls.com. Get your hats, get your access to the diehard stuff. We'll talk more about that later here on DLLS. All right, let's begin tonight with some news. We start with Justin Ritzkovian, Sam. Sam's little buddy, literally, as he signs a 2-year one-way contract extension with the Stars that is worth $1.9 million. That means an average annual value of $950,000.
What do I usually call Ritz? What do I call him? Ritzy Rich.
Ritzy Ritz.
He's Richie Rich now.
He is, sure.
Oh, he just changed his name.
Think about this.
Stroke of a pen.
If he was in the AHL tomorrow, his salary is prorated $82,000. Next year and the year after, even if he's in the AHL, he makes $950,000. That
Crazy.
Is moving a decimal point. He's very close to adding a comma to his salary, and we all strive for that. But Sam, this is exciting for a kid that went undrafted out of college hockey, and he's earned it. Here's the thing. We were even talking when guys got healthy, right before the Jamie Benn injury, obviously the Tyler Seguin thing. We were thinking, hey, they're going to have too many forwards. Somebody might go down, and it might be Ritzkovian because he's waiver exempt. Now, that still could be the case, but based on this, doesn't look like that's the case, does it?
Yeah, no, he's been great. And it came at perfect timing. I wrote about him yesterday. I spoke to him at practice a week or so ago, just about his start and everything like that. And he's a great story. Go read the article if you haven't already on our site. But for the short version, he was undrafted at Northeastern going into his junior final season. He goes in, has a great year, leads them in scoring. He's named captain for the Northeastern Huskies. He helps them win the Bean Pot, which is a huge deal in Owen's old stomping grounds over there near Boston, where Northeastern is the smaller of the teams. It's BU, BC, Harvard, and Northeastern.
No, Sam. It's Harvard. Not
Tom
Harvard.
Blackwell
Harvard.
But that tournament is dominated.
Harvard yard.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you pack one over the shot potch.
Yeah. Harvard.
That tournament is dominated by BU, BC for good reason, and Northeastern won it twice while Ritzkovian was there. He was huge in that. He scored a goal in the championship game. He had an incredible season, and he had a ton of offers because of that. And the Stars, as we've talked about before, they depleted their prospect pool because of all the winning and trying to get trades and getting rid of picks and everything like that. So they needed these free agents to really help them kind of build, whether it was their AHL team or young guys to eventually become NHLers. He came in, and while he probably only made the team because of injury, right? The Jamie Benn injury and a few others really opened some spots. He grabbed it, and he has gotten better and better and better. He talked about his confidence has never faltered, but he just now, probably the last 10, 15 games, he said the game has slowed down drastically for him. He's no longer just trying to get out there, put his head down, chip pucks in and make it simple plays. He's really starting to read things, see the game a little bit more. And the one thing I loved, both from Golitzin and from Ritzkovian, was the guy's willing to do whatever it takes to win. He talked about how he wasn't normally a pest like he is now because he was always the scorer. Now he comes in, he's got the Mikko Rantanens and Jason Robertsons of the world. He knows that he can take some of the weight off of their shoulders by being the one who frustrates opponents, and he loves that. And then on the flip side, Goalton says he does every single thing with the intent to get better, and that's every day. He meditates all the time. His diet's great. His work habits are great. That's the kind of player this team needs on and off the ice. So it's a huge thing. And this is just we talk about Jordy Ben and those kind of guys that really earn their way up. This guy earned this contract, and I'm super happy for him.
Okay, I got a question for you.
I like that song.
I know, I figured you did. I know self-deprecatingly you'll always say that it never slowed down for you, but when you first joined Montreal, your rookie year, was it overwhelmingly fast for you, that pace, playing in the NHL for the first time? Or is the game different than it is now?
If it would have been today's day, yeah, I wouldn't have been there more than a period.
Did you have a slowdown at some point as you got
Did I have to slow down?
No. Did you experience the Ritzkovians, like the game slows down to your perspective as you got more comfortable in the league?
To be honest with you, I think because when I was at school, one of my coaches at school at North Dakota, that'd be the University of North Dakota. Everybody says that in college. I don't know why they say that. But I had Rick Wilson, who was our D coach here. I had Wilson College here and a lot. But I was taught a lot of things there that I was able to transfer over. And I was the best advice I got was from the head coach, Gino Gasparini. He said, you are who you are. You go there and you be the same guy you are here and don't try to do
That's good
too
advice,
much there.
yeah.
And I had coaches there that the best line I ever heard was from Jacques Leperriere, our coach Lappy, he said, the glass is your friend. In other words, high and hard on the glass.
Yep.
It was the green light. It was a green light to not have to play the way that
and you didn't have to worry about delay of game penalties back then.
No, and
either.
I'll tell you what, and Pat Verbeek, for one of them, when Beaker finally came here, there were times when Beaker would go back and goes, Luds, just pound it around the boards as hard as you can to my side. I'll get it out. It was an invitation to just do what you do and then do your other thing. So I didn't find the game to be too fast, I guess, because I think I was more of a positional kind of guy, and I was always trying to.
Well, you were cerebral from the beginning.
You have to be. Like when you don't have the same ability, God-given ability that a lot of players have. But I was a guy that was all about tendencies. Yep. I watched what players do. I watched where they wanted to go first, and I tried to get to that spot first. Then that made them go to plan B, and so I tried to play the game like that, more from the neck up, which is surprising to a lot of people. I know that. But I had to try to think the game and where to be on the ice before things happen, because I wouldn't have been good enough to be able to recover and chase somebody back.
So we're thrilled about Ritzkovian's extension. He earned it. He deserves it. It's not the Thomas Harley 8 million times a million, or 10 or whatever it was. But it's a good first step for him.
You just opened up a can there. You did.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. All right. But one other bit of housekeeping before we get to tonight's lineup is we didn't have a chance yesterday with the Carolina game and the Mikko Rantanen stuff and then the game itself to talk about Radek Faksa. He was officially named to the Czechia Olympic roster. I say Czechia because that's how they're officially doing it. If you ask Radek, it's very much Czech. He goes, I don't say Czechia, it's Czech. But he will be playing for Czechia. He makes the Stars Olympian total up to 7. It could still grow to 8 or 9 if Robertson or Johnston were injury replacements, which is a possibility. It should be 10, but Leon Bischel is having a timeout with the Swiss Federation we talked about. But, Sam, none of us were surprised that Faksa was going to make it, but he was very, very coy. And I don't know if that was he didn't want to jinx it or if he was under wraps not to say anything, but he kept it very quiet until Tuesday's announcement.
Yeah, I'm sure he knew. I actually said it to him. What day was it? Whatever day the U.S. or the Canada announcement was. I went up to him.
That was the 31st, New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I thought that was when everyone knew, and I'm sure it still was. But I went up to him in the room and I just said, "Hey, Radek, get any phone calls today?" And he goes like this: "Why? What was I supposed to get?" Like he thought I was in trouble. So I don't know if he knew that morning. Maybe he found out later that day. But he was an obvious pick. I mean, he's been so good. He's one of the most underrated guys in the league with the way he not only does all the things we know, penalty killing, face-offs, big body, but he has a great impact on the game. Robert Tiffin wrote a great article about him the other day on his Stars Thoughts Substack. It's just going into the detail of the impact he has. Teams just don't score when he's on the ice and vice versa. His teams do score a lot of times when he's on the ice. He's such a great role player. But for anyone who doesn't know, go watch any video you can find on Radek Fox's past, because even I didn't know the extent of what he went through. I knew he moved away from home and some of that detail, but he moved away from home 3 or 4 hours from his house in Czech Republic with just after his dad left his family, had no communication with his dad. His mom was single, had kids in an apartment. He moved into an apartment by himself at 11 years old and lived there for 6 years, all on his own, to grow his hockey game, to develop. And he became not only in the NHL, but a first-round pick for the Dallas Stars. So his story is incredible. His perseverance is incredible. That's the theme tonight, perseverance, I guess. But huge thing to him, and he's going to play a huge role for that team who, just like the Finlands and Swedens of the world, they have the top tier guys that can compete. They just don't have the depth, so they're going to have to play a real big role.
Any thoughts on Radek going to the Olympics before I get to the real themes for tonight?
No, the only thing I would say about Radek is, you talk about being a first-round pick. Radek came in knowing who he was.
Yeah.
And I think of Jason Dickinson also. And sometimes you get labeled as a first-rounder. You're supposed to do this and do that and put points up and things like that. But Radek came in and he knew exactly who he was. He didn't try to do more than he should. And he's carved out a great career and the perfect guy for this team right now, being in whether it's the fourth line or third line, whatever, penalty killing, and being that kind of guy that's just willing to buy into doing that. And that's a big part of what teams are about.
All right, let's talk about the real themes. And I'm not trying to bash on Sam here for perseverance, because those two guys, Fox and Ritzkovian, certainly deserve that. But tonight's theme is defense and discipline. But don't listen to me. Here's Gully after the game last night in Carolina.
We put a lot of emphasis on this game, and we just didn't execute. And I think we got to go back and take a look, because what gets you out of the situation we're in with our slide here is defense and discipline, right? And you're not gonna outscore yourself and get frustrated and get yourself out of these things. It's just, if you look at our last 6 games, I think it's 4-4, 4-4, 4-4, 6 we've given up, and really we talked earlier in the season, the league's a race to 3. So it's really defense and discipline that gets you out, and we're not there yet, but we're gonna have to figure it out soon.
Luds, defense, discipline to get out of this ditch, not outscore your problems. We need to stop giving up so many goals, whether it's 5-on-5 or penalty kill, which we'll get to in a minute, kind of getting leaky.
Yeah, I mean, again, they've given up 4 or more in 15 games this year.
Out of 43?
Mm-hmm.
They've
won 3 of them.
Literally a third of your season.
Well, they've won
6 of them have happened in the last 6 games.
So
that's not good either.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, that's where he's talking about, like, the goals against. And I think what he's trying to do, I think he's trying to find a way to change their mindset about scoring goals and thinking about the offensive side of things. And let's take care of our end first and support our goaltenders. And we know we're going to get a goal. We feel like we're going to get a goal or 2 5-on-5, and we believe we can get one on the power play. So let's take care of our end first. We're going to get our looks. We're going to get our goals. We got enough talent on this team, and let's not chase the game. Because when you're chasing the game, it doesn't turn out well for really anybody.
Yeah. So, Sam, take a look at the defense tonight, because we're going to see something that is surprising. Alexander Petrovic, and I know Luds has thoughts on this, but I want to go to you first on this, is not going to play for the first time since the Colorado game 2. He was scratched for the first 2 games of the regular season. That was before Lundqvist got hurt. And Capobianco, who hasn't played since the 27th against Chicago, is going to come in. This is a surprise, but it also isn't, based on what we've heard from Luds and his analysis of Petro's game over the last little bit.
Yeah, I think Lud said it perfectly whenever we talked about it last time. He's just not playing the simple game anymore. That's what made Petrovic so good. He's a big body. He got in the right position. Luds used to talk about it even last year in the playoffs, how good he was at doing what the Stars defensemen weren't doing, which is getting in between the man and the goal, initiating contact 5-6 feet out from the goal instead of allowing himself to be driven back like some of the other Stars guys do. Makes the simple play. He got his head up. He to me, the big thing he was doing earlier in the year was his quick passes. He'd get back, pick his head up, make a quick pass right on the tape, and that was it. It wasn't play with it. It wasn't think to go to the next option. Lud said it last night. He's no longer doing that. And whether that's because he had the pressure of Harley being out and Lundqvist being out, and he needed to play more minutes and a bigger role, and he thought he had to, make more plays. Whatever the reason is, he's gotten away from his game. And sometimes sitting up in the press box watching a game solves a lot of problems. And for him specifically, that could do that. It's almost a reset. Hey, you know what? Look, this is how I play. Watching from up top, the game's a little slower. I don't need to make this type of play. Just go back to the simple things. And I honestly thought it was going to be Lyubushkin that came out, because I don't think he's been very good either. I don't think a lot of the Stars defensemen have been very good. But for Capobianco, he's been very good when he's been in. He was a huge part of this team during the injuries that they had. I expect him to come in and be some fresh legs that they desperately need. And as we're sure we're going to talk about, they have some up front as well.
Lud's long time coming, or a bit coming for Pedro?
No, I said this the other night. He needs to be brought back down to reality, and I don't mean this in a negative way. Is that he was starting to do things that, like Sam was talking about, he would want to make a little extra move. There was one in particular a couple of games ago. He carried the puck into the neutral zone. He got a couple feet from the red line, from the center line, and instead of getting the line and just putting it in and being that kind of a player, he made a little move and it turned over and it went the other way. In the game last night, he's in the neutral zone. It's just a neutral zone faceoff. We win the faceoff and he tries to move it over his partner, but he doesn't even take a look. It gets picked off. That results in the first goal against. So there's just little things that have been creeping into his game. And I think this is like a little reality check. And just, you know what? You need to get back to when we told you to go get a house here, we need you to be that guy that led up to that point. And you don't have to go past that point, because now you're seeing he's not, again, I'm going to say Thomas Harley, but I know what everybody's going to say, but he's not the Thomas Harley type. He's not Miro. He's not Essa. It's the KISS system for him. Keep it simple, stupid, which be physical, seal people out. And when you see somebody 3 feet away from you, give them the puck. And that's it. That's all you need to do. And we've seen him jump up into the play. I think where he's been better and he hasn't gotten beat is on the offensive blue line. He does, instead of getting the puck and either firing it back down the wall or throwing it to the net right away, he kind of gets his head up and he'll a little more patience right there. I'm seeing more things happening in the other half of the rink, that he wants to take a little bit more time, look for a better play. Don't look for the better play, move it to the next guy.
Is that the backward version of the white hat? I like it.
He said it too small. He wanted to know if there were kid sizes in the hats.
Well, so
he's got all them little buttons. Oh, many of them.
So he's got a giant dome.
Around.
No,
he's got a teeny hat.
He wants.
It's too big.
Yeah,
his head's too small.
Do they make child sizes in these?
So
hats?
he's got a tiny head.
I didn't think he did. He's got a big head. Trust me.
Up next, let's talk about the penalty kill, the Capitals, and more as we get ready for Stars Caps here on the DLLS Stars Pregame Show. That's going to be the bane.
I knew it was coming.
The bane of his existence right now is that.
So speaking of hats, look at Sam. Sam's got one of them on. Sam's got the motor hat on right there. So the hats are great. We pretty much established that. And if you have a smaller head, you probably got to find a little smaller, little brim or whatever you call that snapback thing, because they do seem to be a little bit bigger than normal. Which just take a look at my kid and he'd tell you that. So and then are we going to look at the shirts, the two little shirts? Or are we just going to zoom in on Sam? Sam's got the shirt on. We could use a live model today. Stand up, Sam. Or are you standing? Can't tell. Oh, yeah. We didn't want you to puff your nipples out there. But you look good. There you go. That's a great looking shirt right there. I do have one of them. I checked today.
Did you?
So, yes.
Good.
And let's show the Finnish dudes, okay? The Finnish Mafia shirt. I want to remind everybody of that. Because we need these guys, all of them at the same time, to get back on track here, not just 96. We got to have everybody pulling on that Finnish rope, and look forward to a win here tonight in Washington.
Sam?
Thanks, Luds. Let's talk about the Supporters Club, just for you, Luds. Supporters Club is where it's at. As I'm getting made fun of for not knowing what the badges reference, I actually don't know the real reference. I just had some drunk guy say it to me in a parking lot in California one time, so I think it's hilarious that Harry says it. But when you join the Supporters Club, you get exclusive badges. You get exclusive emojis, like all the cool ones down there that even from this close without my glasses, I can't see. There's an 88, there's a Cowboys, there's a Craig Ludwig, I believe there's a Stanley Cohn, all kinds of cool ones. There's also behind-the-scenes videos, which are super fun. And the more people that join, the more cool stuff we do. I was about to say the more cool S we do. Luds has been getting in my mind lately. I've been cursing too much. But join the supporters club now. True sicko level stuff. It is the real deal. TO throws them out there like it's nobody's business. So jump on that.
I have an important fact here. I went to the bathroom with Luds.
That's a great way to end that. Let's talk about the forwards for a minute, and then we get to the penalty kill. Nate Bastian will play as he gets his first game since his AHL conditioning stint. He also hasn't played an NHL game since December 27th at Chicago. We all know that didn't go well. That was part of this current run of 6 games without a win. He will be in. I don't know if these are going to be the lines. I'm kind of guessing here. Adam Ernie is not playing tonight. Bastian is in. I reached out to Stars PR this afternoon because Heike never asked about Ernie. It's all Heike's fault. I was told coach's decision. Now, there's no clarity there, Luds. It could have been coach's decision because that hit, remember, Ernie didn't play the third period. The hit he took in the first, he could be pretty sore today. But it's not, as far as I know, an official injury designation. But they might have said, hey, no reason for Ernie to play back-to-back. Because I have a hunch that if he was not the recipient of that check last night in Raleigh, that Ernie's probably in over Blackwell if they wanted to put Bastian in the lineup. What do you think about that?
He would be in over either one of them for me. I think Adam Ernie, the opportunities that he's had, he's been exactly what you're looking for. I mean, he's a big load. He's heavy. He goes to the front of the net. Shot. He understands who he is. And, yeah, I think when you say coach's decision, and without saying injury, it's like, listen, he's not doing great right now, so I decide that he's not playing tonight. That's what it is.
Yep.
I mean, nothing against having Bastian because he's going to play the way that he played when he got in, and he'll get his 10 to 12 minutes tonight, and I'm sure he'll take advantage of each shift.
Casey DeSmith is going to start in goal. They are not going away from the plan, even though Jake got pulled and Casey ended up playing more minutes last night. I thought that was a little interesting, though, Sam, because, well, we could argue both sides. Jake has been unbelievable against the Washington Capitals. In 7 games, 6 starts, Jake is 6-0-0, 1.25 goals against, .958 save percentage, and 2 shutouts, including in October this year. If it wasn't for Casey taking the leave of absence, I wonder if they might have gone with DeSmith against the Hurricanes and Ottinger against the Capitals because of that history. But that's not what they're doing tonight, Sam.
Yeah, and I think I didn't look at exactly, but I think Casey's been great against the Hurricanes, so I'm guessing that would have been the plan. But the Stars have been great against the Capitals for a long time. They feel like they win every single time they go to DC. I remember actually going to one of their games when I was in college, and they won like 6-1. Eric Nystrom scored 2 goals. That was when they didn't even have really a team. Might have been Glenn Goldson's first time actually with Dallas. But the interesting thing, I looked at the stats for DeSmith. So Casey and Jake have both been great overall this season. We talked about last night in the post-game show. But if you look at the numbers, Casey has 9 wins and 15 starts. It's a 60% win percentage. Jake has 16 wins and 28 starts, which is 57. So right around 60%, both very good. Then on the points percentage, Casey actually has an 81% points percentage in his starts, while Jake has a 70%. So it's tough to look at numbers sometimes because of sample size, but if you just take the pure numbers, breaking it down like that, Casey's been even better than Jake overall this season. And I think if Casey didn't come in and play well, like if Casey came in and they put up 8 or, he let in the first 3 shots, whatever it might have been, maybe they go back to Jake and say, let's give him another shot. But Casey came in, steadied things, and gave Dallas I'm going to say chance because the Stars had to help out a little bit and they didn't really, but he gave them a fighting chance in that game. He earned the start. And I'm a big fan of earning your starts. Let's talked about last night. Jake could have maybe come in and said, give me that net. Let me get it back. I'm your guy. But for me, Casey came in, he played great. Jake has struggled now in a few of his last starts. I'm totally okay with the decision.
We have a super chat. Let's throw that out there real quick. Current Oils with a Hatcher year after the Cup. And he said, Luds, it's not Sam's fault that he was a little man. And then he immediately amended it and said that he was born a little man.
Actually, I was 5'8" in 6th grade, tallest kid in my school. I'm 5'8" now. So
5'7".
Do you see, Sam, how they're kind of throwing me under the bus a little bit? But they're really not. They're saying the same thing.
Just me.
I mean, right? So,
yep.
Not me.
Okay, one more thing before we hear from Spencer Carberry, because I want you to hear the obligatory other team's coach telling you why the Dallas Stars are really good.
I've already heard
every
it.
time.
He's going to say the same thing all the other coaches.
But here we go. Look at the penalty kill. I got looking at the recent trend. Stars have given up 9 power play goals against in their last 11 games. That's 75.7%, and their record 4-4-3, not great. So I look back in some segments. Remember, they had a really rough start to the penalty kill this year. 70% of their first 15 games. Luds, really, the middle sector of this first 43 games, that 17-game stretch, that's why they were in the top 10, and the last 11 games, they've fallen out of the top 10 in penalty kill.
Who's got to be your best penalty killer?
Your goalie.
Okay, that hasn't happened. You talk about Casey tonight, and just in the last 10 games for each one of these guys, saves above expected.
What do you got?
Casey's at 4.9.
Okay.
I should say
goals saved above
goals.
expected. Yep.
Our guy's at 0.4.
Whoa. That's a pretty big difference. Yep.
That tells you a lot. Like, again, there are issues that are things that I see creeping in on the power play, the formation where that offside forward gets too wide and you're leaving a shot lane down the middle of the ice and trying to take away somebody that's not as dangerous over there. And that's okay. That's their structure and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, your goaltender has to make saves. And, and again, Jake is usually really, really good at it. But Casey's a guy he's just a battler. And to me, if you go back and you think about it, not that Jake hasn't made big timely saves, but when it goes to penalty killing, Casey to me is more of a scrambler. And he somehow he catches up with the second and third opportunity. So that's what I see in the penalty killing.
All right, let's hear from Spencer Carberry because he was asked about the Dallas Stars losing big to the Hurricanes last night. Here's his initial response and then his follow-up about the team itself.
An angry Dallas Star. Hate that.
What are some of those specific challenges of the Stars?
So, real good hockey team. I think, whatever you want to put them at from a record standpoint, sitting, I believe, point percentage-wise, would be 2 or 3 in the league. I'm pretty sure right behind Colorado. Really well-balanced team. Feel like they've got a solid identity to how they want to play and what they do. The veterans inside of their group that have been there for a bunch of years, big, strong D that protect the interior of the ice really, really well. They're an excellent defensive team, and then I think they've got that, what a lot of great teams in this league have, that balance of their top 6, where they've got some potent offensive threats there, and then they've got a real good, solid third and fourth line that can do the necessary things at a 200-foot level that make it difficult for you to score on them, and then they can control possession time. So that's and then they've got obviously Jake Ottinger, who's excellent goaltender.
Really on top of things there, isn't he?
Well, obviously Ottinger's not playing tonight, but he's been unbelievable. Hey, look, we have a visitor. There's the puppy that got Sam sick.
It's chewing on my hand.
Has Sam has not been in the studio since he got his puppy, right? I don't think so.
You think it's just a coincidence or what?
No, I don't think so now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, Luds, I'm going to ask you because there's no way we're getting anything out of Sam in the next couple minutes. Washington is a streaky team. I looked at their results this morning. They went 6-2-0 in their first 8 games. Then they went 2-6-2 in their next 10. Then they had a huge stretch where they went 10-1-2. And then in the last 12, they're 4-6-2. They are a roller coaster, and right now they're not super confident.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of their MO, and but they do have some key pieces. Listen, I mean, Wilson's a big miss for him.
Go ahead and show the lineup while he gives you this instruction. Go ahead, Luds.
Well, I just look at, I mean, Ovi, Ovi's going to get his empty netter. We know that.
They're missing their entire second line.
Yeah, I mean, Protas is out, Wilson is out,
Dubois.
PLD didn't even start the season. I think he started the season, only played a couple games, but they're missing, a 20-goal scorer, and
he actually
Wilson's
played against Dallas in October.
35-goal scorer, and Protas has scored goals against Dallas. So yeah, they're missing a big group. It's their second line that's kind of carrying them. I mean, sort of there's been kind of a big surprise for him lately, and Leonard is kind of coming into his own. So they're very happy with their second line.
The young guys.
Yep, the young kids. So
what about the D, Luds? Because I want to ask you before we get any further about Jacob Chychrun. Second in the league in defenseman goals with 15. He's been really good.
Very, very calm. Guy can play a physical game if he wants to. He's got a great shot. And I'm always been a fan of Carlson's also. He just has some calmness to him. Power play guy, obviously, but very good with the puck. But after that, that's where I think their issues kind of lie in there. But Chychrun and Carlson are their 2 key guys.
Sam, do we still have you, or are you in complete puppy mode?
No, puppy is gone. Is out of the room.
Okay. So let's show the goalie graph up. The goalie matchup for the night. You got DeSmith and you got Logan Thompson. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I talked about DeSmith already. He's been great. They need him to be great. But the interesting part with Washington is, I was texting you guys today. Their special teams is what keeps them from being a really good team, right? They ride the waves, as you just mentioned, because they just can't get that power play goal and they just can't kill that penalty. But the goaltending has been fantastic. They are just got the numbers here. They're 8th in the NHL in save percentage, right above Dallas with a .901 save percentage. Both of them been great. I think Logan Thompson was named to Canada. Is that correct? I believe he was one of the goalies on Canada.
Blood thinks he should be the starter.
Yeah,
Thompson?
he's a spectacular
Canadians?
goalie.
I do.
The only thing
I don't know. I don't know. The other guy's a big time goalie. They're gonna live or die by that, right?
Give Bennington a chance.
We'll see what old Bingo can do.
But I love the way Thompson plays.
All right, guys. One last quick note. Tonight is Nils Lundqvist's 200th career NHL game. And if I told you he was a plus 20 in his first 199 games, would you be surprised by that?
No, not really. He doesn't get a lot of work against other teams' top lines.
That's fair.
Say. So I think it's a positive for him. And he hasn't had a couple. One in particular that had a lot of belief in him. And I think sometimes that carries over.
I know the Stars' power play has not been great lately. They did get 2 last night against Carolina, but the Capitals have the worst home penalty kill in the league. And it's not been great. And the 24th ranked home penalty kill and the worst home power play. Their power play, it's not the Ovechkin, Backstrom, Oshie that it used to be.
Yeah, I would think that Washington will definitely want to stay 5-on-5. 5-on-5, they're top 2 team in the league when it comes to goals, 5-on-5. So their team, for some reason, they can manufacture goals and even missing a couple guys.
All right, guys. Sam, enjoy your dog. Luds, enjoy your dinner. We'll see everybody post-game right after Stars Caps. It's on HBO Max, TNT, and Victory Plus.
Oh,
it's in the local market on Victory Plus. So if you're in the Victory Plus broadcast area, you probably can't get it on TNT, but you can get it with Josh and Razor on Victory. So for Ryan, for Sam, for Luds, I'm Owen. We'll see you right after the game tonight here on DLLS.
Tune in for the post-game show on DLLS tonight.
We all silly like the mayor.